Focusing now on this Bakkassi matter is continuing strongly also. Well, how so? You find out in a bit. As now we're joined by Mr. Esin, who is a former chairman of Bakkassi local government area, and he's also of Bakkassi or Save Bakkassi Group. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you and good morning.
Well, now that, first and foremost, what informs, if you will, this resurgence of this matter about revisiting Bakassi, the ICJ ruling?
Yeah, the people of Bakassi has always been agitating for the Nigerian government to visit the issue and pay attention to the details of the Bakassi issue. But right now, as we're getting to 10 years after that, and a lot of issues are settled, are still pending, it is right that the people of Bakassi will stand up and ask for the revisit of the case before it is finally closed. So that's what informed this new agitation and recent one.
And do you think that the way, in spite of all the calls, agitation from Bakassi and government's response to it, how do we reconcile that?
Well, nothing stops us from continuing to knock at the door until we get the attention needed by government to address the issues, far-reaching issues that we'll be looking at here beyond the ones you have been hearing from channels.
Okay, but sorry, I was going to say, why does Bakassi think that this matter can be revisited? Is there any precedence at the ruling of The Hague, and if government doesn't seem interested in it, why agitation?
Well, I believe every law is made for man, and of course, if we as human beings see that that law is against humanity, I think there is nothing wrong in trying to see if the law can be amended for man, since it's made for man.
You were a one-time chairman of Bakassi local government. When was that?
Between 2003 and 2007.
That was after the ruling of the ICJ.
After the ruling of the ICJ, during the seating of the peninsula.
So, in other words, well, elections still hold in Bakassi, right?
Today, Bakassi?
Yes.
Yes, election still holds.
But why is it that we hear in some quarters that, well, whatever is happening in Bakassi, the Nigerian government has no say in it because it is no longer a Nigerian territory?
Yes, in the peninsula has been ceded. But the returnees that have found the government have resettled in the new location still have the right to hold their elections. The local government is still running because after the ceding, the entire local government with all the staff and councillors were relocated to the new place. And that administration is still the administration of the local government as it is enshrined in the Constitution, 774 local government, still runs itself. So election still holds. And if you hear that there was no election, I think that that has to do with the local politics of dissatisfied politicians who were maybe yesterday comfortable and today they are no longer comfortable because of local political issues.
But it's strange to see that even local politics is also coming into play here. We thought the entire Bakassi people are on the same page, driving and fighting for the same cause so that they can reclaim. If you say there's also a chance of doing that kind of, should I say, appeal after almost 10 years, why is it that there is some kind of dissenting voice amongst your people?
Yes, if you look at the bigger picture about the peninsula and the people you have left behind, the environmental issues, the socio-economic issues, you will find out that that is the picture any Bakassi, a real Bakassi person should be looking at. The local picture that is beginning to take louder noise and so on, it's always there because you find out that each time some genuine Bakassi people rise up to stop government from first of all ceding the place, second trying to relocate people without proper agreements, you'll find that these same forces who have the weight and who have the connection still stands up to disinform Nigerians and bring disaffection amongst Bakassi people so that they can achieve their aim. The aim is that Bakassi should leave, the Bakassi people should leave the peninsula, and an aborigine of the place first cannot leave the peninsula. Well, you know, you will find out that if something happens in an area, the first people that will try to leave the place may be people that are not from there. But the aborigines of the place will find it very difficult to resettle, and those are the Nigerians we'll be looking at.
Are you privy to some of the facts that were presented at the ICJ with which Cameroon won this case against Nigeria?
Yes.
Did you know about the fact that they say they presented the Surveyor General's, the record he has of the map of Nigeria, and Cameroon presented a document which shows that people in that region were paying record of taxes to Cameroon and not to Nigeria?
Yes. In that area, there were times where, because there was no clear definition of border lines, so the Nigerian taxmen could go into those fishing ports and get taxes. The Cameroonians too do same. So you find that in the peninsula, the Bakassi man was forced to pay tax to two different countries, and that brought clash that that resulted in the death of those Nigerian soldiers because of trying to go into the island to get taxes or to get revenues.
But if this were the case, if, according to you, the genuine Bakassi people didn't want that place ceded, by the way, there's a tribe called Bakkassi in Cameroon, I'm sure you're aware of that. The fact that former leaders, former Governor Donald Duke was around, of course, part of the ceding he was also very active in this. All your members in the Senate, all your members in the House of Assembly at the time, they all played along. So what has changed now?
I don't think you're right when you say all senators, former members. Don't forget.
Did anybody object to it?
Yes. In 2006,
a senator or a member of the House of Assembly?
I'm going to lead you to that. In 2006, the same Honorable Esin that moved the motion 2 weeks ago moved a motion in the Federal House attempting to stop the ceding. The Senate, our Senator Basiewa, also moved a motion in the Senate that warranted the Senate to put up a committee headed by Jubilee Aminu, and the committee came out with a resolution that the federal government should not cede Bakassi. So these were done by.
He was present on the day of the ceding. He didn't boycott the ceding.
Who?
His president, Senator Henshaw, was very well present on the ceding.
No,
and some people understood that as, I'm okay.
No, you are not right. Senator Henshaw was not present at the ceding. It was Senator Giwa that was present at the ceding.
No, the records we saw and the reports we've read.
Okay, that is left to be contested. But I'm saying that it's a fact that the senators at that time moved that Bakassi should not be ceded. And the Bakassi people also went to court and got an injunction that the Federal High Court in Abuja that the peninsula should not be ceded. So these were done by the former administration, and the Cross River State government had good intention for those that would be willing to come to Cross River State to at least have a place to resettle them, and that they did.
You're part of Bakassi now because we're trying to look at the peninsula because that's the area of contention, as well as the area that has been given to those who were relocated. Now, who has declared independence? So we're trying to, because this story about independence, to the extent that some indigents were divided over that, and we also saw Senator Itagiwa on television, and we also read in the papers dissociating herself and her community from that particular declaration of independence. Which angle,
yes.
which side of the divide are you on?
Yes, I belong to the Save Bakassi group, a civil group advocating for the real issues to be addressed on ground. That does not mean that a lot of youths who are dissatisfied with the situation in the peninsula have not gone to do certain things that are unlawful you know, for now. But we are saying that Nigerian government should be responsible enough to pay attention to these details and arrest it before it expands itself.
What kind of details? Maybe they are not aware. Could you just let us in on that?
Yes, the injustice in the peninsula. There are certain issues that border on security. A lot of people are killed in the peninsula on daily basis. We have evidence to this. You know, we have written to the authorities in Cameroon to pay compensation to some of these extrajudicial killings, you know, because, like, for example, one Bakkassi Okon that was traveling was shot, his head was blown off. If you come to Calabar, we can give you the picture. He is a 22-year-old boy, you know, traveling on a genuine journey. His manifest was cleared. The customs cleared him, immigration cleared him. Such a case, you know, and other ones that people who have run into the Nigerian side and are still pursued and murdered, you know. These are issues that are bringing heavy burden on the borders. And if these issues are not addressed, now the youth there can take laws into their hands, and then the Nigerian government at a point will be called to question. They might be even saying that Nigerian government are sponsoring Nigerians to go for aggression in foreign lands. So if we address this, the Nigerian government take serious note of this and stop it before it increases, before we get bad names in the international community of sponsoring mercenaries to go in.
So in other words, it's not about reclaiming the peninsula that your group is after.
No, we have to reclaim the peninsula. We have to go through all legal means, all civilized means to get back the peninsula, to go back to the table. You know, if Nigeria was in the peninsula, if you came and met us in the peninsula, at least we have an environment that must be protected. This Green Tree Agreement does not protect it. It's a simple document with nothing inside it.
What have your people lost apart from their homes when that particular part was ceded to Cameroon?
We have lost so much beyond properties. The first important thing we should look at is our environment that must be protected. We came and met it. And if we cannot at least leave it the way we saw it, let us not devastate it. You know, now the issues that will arise on environmental issue will be, you see, if oil in multinational companies find a way of hiding between unidentified borders,